Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we're going to talk about the role the U.S. is playing in this genocide that's happening in the Gaza Strip. We, as a nation, the government, the U.S., United States, whatever you want to say, have more or less given Israel carte blanche to do what it wants. Because after World War II, it's like there needs to be a nation for the Israelis. That nation was started, and we've pretty much been defenders. At least, especially for the time I've been alive, over the last 4 decades. The U.S. has been devout defenders of Israel's right to defend itself. And look, as I say with everything I say when I talk about this, Israel has a right to defend itself. However, that should never be allowed to cross the line from defense to genocide. It is not excusable. Yet, this is where we find ourselves in a moment of genocide, massacre. I'd even argue very much on the level of a Holocaust. I know some people may squirm when I say that, but you know, it's not far off. It's really not that far off. Yeah. The actual conflict is not a war. Many people go, "Oh, it's the Israel Hamas war." No, this is not a war. There was a surprise attack from a terrorist group, Hamas. And let's make this clear: Hamas is a terrorist group. It still does not justify going in and killing innocents. So, yes. But, back on track as we were talking. The actual conflict has been allowed to happen essentially by the U.S. because the U.S. has given it, like I said, carte blanche to do what it wants. Anyway, let's see. We have a number of articles up here. Biden moves to lift nearly every restriction on Israel's access to the U.S. weapons stockpile by easing virtually all limits on Israel's use of the stockpile. Biden could undercut U.S. military preparedness and congressional oversight. And this was just on November the 25th, a week ago. It's disgusting. They've been dropping bombs at a rate that is ridiculous. The United Nations have since called Gaza unprecedented and unparalleled in the civilian death toll. And honestly, it is. From this November 21st article from the UN, at that point, 13,000 civilians in Gaza have died since the attacks by Hamas and the subsequent Israeli bombardment. And the numbers are higher now. Much higher. We had a week, a breather. We have seen I know they talked about in hospitals just decomposing bodies of babies. Because, the staff was forced out. What the government of Israel and the IDF have done is inexcusable. It is without a doubt a war crime, and the U.S. helped this happen. Let's see. Rate of bombardment. I don't even think they're keeping track of how many bombs have been dropped anymore. Oh, goodness. I was going to see how many they were at least guessing or something, but yeah. It's just, yeah. Anyway. This war, it's not a war, this massacre, this genocide has went on for 2 months now. Two months. Gaza, in and of itself, 41, this is from Wikipedia, 41 kilometers or 25 miles long. From 6 to 12 kilometers or 3.7 to 7.5 miles wide, with a total area of 365 kilometers squared or 141 square miles. And within that, 2 million Palestinians. Making it one of the world's highest population densities, most dense populations, and yet there's this insane bombing campaign. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And again, the U.S. backs this. It supports this genocide. There's no other word for it. It's not self-defense. It's went well beyond anything that could be called self-defense. This is a genocide. Period. It's a massacre. It is a holocaust. Yet, our government is showing nearly unwavering support for Israel. Even though the American people are like, good Lord, this is enough. I think what was, Americans wanting, there it is. Public opinion polls show most Americans and an overwhelming majority of Democrats backing into hostilities. A Reuters Ipsos survey released last month indicated 68% of respondents believed Israel should call for a ceasefire and negotiate an end to the war. This was from an article just 2 days ago. Yet, the government shows unending support for Israel to commit its massacre, its genocide. It's ridiculous. Americans are tired of seeing our weapons used to slaughter innocents. Yes, Israel, go after Hamas. But you know, and I know, their leaders are in, what was it, Qatar? Yet they're like, if we bomb the hell out of it. The thing is, we know it's not just as a defense mechanism. They want all Palestinians gone from the Gaza Strip. They do. They just want the ability to take the Gaza Strip for themselves. Even though it's this tiny sliver of land, they're willing to slaughter all of these people for it. But yeah, America's government continues to back this genocide, this massacre, openly back it. They act like, oh, this is what our people want. No. This is not what the people want. Polls have shown for a while now that American people don't want this. I'm just... Democrats suck ass. Republicans suck ass harder. There is no real choice. Both of them are on Israel's ball sack and be like, oh, let me suck your balls, sir. Oh, does that feel good? You can take our weapons and massacre as many people as you want. I'm so tired of this BS. And AIPAC. Oh, we're going to spend $100 million to attack politicians who actually say the right thing, because you should be kissing our ass. We represent Israel. Motherfucker, they are our politicians. Go fuck yourselves. That's honestly how I feel about AIPAC. They can go and fuck themselves. Yeah. Anyway. I'm about tired of American politics. These idiots who don't care what actual Americans want. Just a handful of idiots. Because they have more fucking money. I say toss about 95% of the idiots out of fucking office. And let's revote the whole fucking Congress in from the beginning. Because I am fucking tired of this shit. No Biden, no Trump, fuck them both, they're pieces of shit. Yet, they're both ready to cuck themselves to Israel. And again, I make sure this is on this, absolutely. Israel's government, not its people. You never should be willing to attack a people. I'm just it's ridiculous. And it should never be the case. But unfortunately, it fucking is. Anyway, I'll go ahead and end this episode here. As always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting a few links in the description box below the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.